Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna please excuse the noise that eventually you're gonna hear the workers in the back. They've been working like crazy. What they're doing in the back is replacing the support beams that is supporting this building, and I'm constantly praying because Lord, I be feeling the vibrations going through when they start jackhammering the concrete. So yeah. I'm on edge right now. And also, if you hear water in the background, I have a 35-gallon turtle tank with two huge turtles that are residing in my room. Eventually I'm gonna put a video of how they look like. They're huge. They're so huge. Anyway, so the reason for this video is I had put up a Facebook post this morning talking about being a parent and our job as a parent, especially when our kids wander into, off their path, so to speak. I mean, the path could be, in life, having a decent life, Now, when I put up that post, it led me to think about my children, Now, I have two boys. One of them, he's 30 years old. And currently, he's been unemployed just like me because we used to work in the same company. And as of last year, he suffered with severe depression and other issues that came with it that really messed up his life. Now, we've been working as a family to help him through those challenges in his life. And also I have a 17-year-old that currently he's in high school. And he, good kid, good rounded kid, always makes me laugh. And, he's doing good at school, straight A's. But, regarding to my boys, I love them both. I love them dearly, and they know it. They know it. I always tell my boys that, you're never going to have a perfect mother. I'm not a perfect mother. I always try to do my best. It's for them to have what they need. I might not have the money rolling in like most people have in this world, but as long as I'm able to cover the basics, which is food on the table, clothing on my back, roof over our heads, I think we could be grateful for those moments that we have as a family. We might not be having, the wonderful luxuries of life, cars and vacations. But what I have for them is a lot of love. And especially, I always have the tendency to make sure that when my boys are concerned, that they try to do their best. Now, my oldest, he never completed college. He, struggles with the depression, and he has a social anxiety. And so a lot of these factors that he has led him in a path that, it wasn't good. And I, as a mother, was really heartbroken because, I was so over consumed with life, like doing this, doing that, making sure bills are paid, making sure I get this done, that done, that sometimes as parents, we tend to forget our children. regardless of their age, because yes, my son is 30 years old. But the problem is that, when they're struggling with something personal in their life or something that they don't know how to resolve, we as parents, we tend to forget that sometimes, communication with our kids is important. And unfortunately, I'm guilty. I'm guilty of pretty much not paying attention, neglecting my son's issues. And I'm not talking just to do oh, woe was me. I feel guilty. I feel doing this. No, this is basically a video of trying to empower everyone to please don't forget your family. Now, like I said, I spent my life working and making sure bills are paid, and I was busy with my own mother's health struggles at the time, and dealing with my own mental crisis, and all these things about life being thrown in my way, that it took me down. And unfortunately it led me to the point that something was not working. Something was not working, and I wasn't able to give the attention to my children the way that I should give them the attention they needed. And then so what happened is that pandemic hit and everything just went nuts in my life. Everything went to a screeching halt. So now, as a parent, seeing my son struggle the way he has been struggling at the time, I just have to make sure, okay, now I have to prioritize my son first. Both children, because I'm not neglecting both. I'm doing both. Because my 30-year-old and my 17-year-old, I have to take priority to them both at the same time. Because of the fact that the sensitivity of our family dynamic was changed, and how crisis was affecting us as a family. And it really had to take a lot of work for me to say, okay, now it's time for me to start my job as a mom really seriously before I really lose my family completely. And sometimes you have to roll up those sleeves and help your children in those moments that they need the help, regardless on the age. Because a lot of Americans, and even, Latino community, because, they're not excluded on this, that when a child makes a mistake, right away they show the door. Get the fuck out. Get out of my house. Go figure it out. So what happens is that child is confused because they're turning to you as the guidance in their lives to help with an issue. And instead of sitting down as a family and talking about these issues and try to compromise and try to listen to each other and say, okay, this is the problem that I'm having and I need help. A lot of times we tend to do, as adults, it's like, get the fuck out, even Latinos, and they're like, pa'l carajo que te vas. And that's not the solution of those problems, because what you're creating is a lot of craziness in this world. That's why you have children committing murders, mass shootings, all these crazy assaults especially here in New York City. Every time I turn around, these teenagers are doing assaults on our seniors, on our regular adults, on women. So now, I as a parent had to roll up my sleeve and say, okay, now it's time to fix the problem. And have that conversation with my son. Understand where he's at. What is causing these issues. Why he's feeling this way. Why he's feeling that way. And help my other son to understand why these problems are happening. Because sometimes, us parents, we're so fixated on one child, we tend to neglect on the other child. And unfortunately, when it comes to family crisis, you have to do it together as a unit. So the other child can understand the consequences of life and how to handle these situations, that things happen along the way. So it led me to help my son to get out of his depression. Helping him get the services that he needs. And help him, see, I told you, the work was going to start. And I feel the vibration happening right now. So I was able to help him get the services that he needed to get stabilized mentally. Because at the end of the day, I want my son to have a healthy life, regardless of the mistakes that he makes. I didn't want to lose my son. I don't want to lose both of my children. I want them to succeed in their own way. Even if my son doesn't make it to graduate school and has a PhD and has this wonderful career, as long as he's working and having a clean life and taking care of himself, showing compassion to others, being happy, that is what is success. Sometimes success is the simplest things in life. To me, I don't look at my kids like if they decide, okay, well, I don't want to, I don't have a degree, but I do want to continue working. I want to work hard, want to make the money that I want to make. As long as they're working and having a very peaceful life, that's what makes a success with a family. The riches of this world is not always the solution. Because I've seen, and believe me, I worked with a lot of people with money. And I've seen how greed can take effect onto others. And so I try to instill the value of honesty and being humble. And don't be ashamed of the type of, work you're going to do in life. As long as you're doing it with a lot of pride and you're happy. That's what's important. So now, after a year and change, things are turning around for my son, my oldest son. Things are opening up for him. He's starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But for him to get through those steps, he had to learn those hard lessons of life too. And believe me, I'm a mom that I am the sweetest mom in the world. I love to laugh. I giggle with my boys. We throw a lot of insults at each other because that's the game plan for us. We have to one up each other on insults. But it's not malicious. It's not malicious. But we do it with fun. But I'm also at the same time, I'm not a pushover. Because when things get really rough and I get out of my character, I will definitely show the side of myself that they don't want to see. And I make it very clear that what is not acceptable will not be tolerated. And things have to change for the better. So, my older son, he's doing well. There's a possible job opening for him. He's going to start an internship soon. So I am very happy of that. My 17-year-old, he's doing very good in school. He is very focused on completing high school. Now he's working on the idea of like what he's gonna do internship in for the summer, because there's a lot of job opportunities for kids of his age right now. But I wanted him to focus on school first. And then in the summertime, if he wants to work his summer job, that's fine. I mean, they're going to provide him opportunities for him to work. So he takes advantage. But my main focus is for them to be stable and happy. And so by me sharing this to you guys, it's not because I'm trying to brag like, oh, I'm this wonderful mom. Yeah. I'm just sharing this because sometimes us adults, now that everybody's out of their homes, we're not incarcerated in our homes, and everybody's gone back to living life again. Please don't ignore your children. Don't ignore your children. Always give them the attention that you guys gave your kids during lockdown. Try to keep in mind how they felt being around you and wanting your attention and talking and sharing thoughts. Don't lose that, because those are moments that is not replaceable. When you have kids, they look up to you. You are their guidance. You are their light to a better future. And you, by showing them the way, regardless the challenges that comes as a parent, because we could put our kids on a pedestal when they're doing their greatest moments. But if that one kid drops and fails in something in their life, make sure you don't kick that child while they're down. You pick up that child too and show them that there's solutions to every problem, regardless of age. Because, like I said before, parents, when they sometimes, especially the Americans, when they turn 18, they move out of the house, that's their life, and yada, yada, yada. And regardless whether they have families or not, our job as a parent doesn't stop when they turn 18. I don't agree that old world mentality, you're out of the house, that's your problem. When that child turns around and has issues in their own lives, we as parents try to give them the guidance and not take sides, because especially when they get married and they have their spouses and stuff like that, don't take sides. But just give them the guidance that they need and say, you know, try to give them something sound and something to think about. And help them think about what causes those issues. What caused those issues? Instead of, oh, well, you know, screw her, screw him, you know, they're good for nothing. Don't do that. Don't do that, because then you'll be on the outs. So, no. But, you know, just be the light and give them the sound advice that they need. And so, like I said, you know, we're coming back to reality. Don't forget your kids. Be there. Because you know what? Our job doesn't end at 18. Our job ends when we're 6 feet under. Sorry. It's real. The job is real. And I don't regret it. Because both boys, they came as a surprise for me. And both boys are my biggest gift that was given to me. And I will always try to guide them in every facet of their lives. So, my message to everyone, love your families. Be their light. Give them that support that they need. From little to adult. Because at the end, you'll be the one with the bigger blessing in your life. Alrighty, so thank you for listening to me yapping. And I hope to see everyone soon in my next video. Bye.